am so excited to be hosting this panel today and to welcome our wonderful guests. And we're going to start with Taylour Paige from The Toxic Avenger and It. Welcome to Derry. And then we have Cote de Pablo from NCIS and the forthcoming NCIS, Tony and Ziva. We have Madeleine McGraw from The Black Phone and The Black Phone 2. And her sister, Violet McGraw from Megan 2.0 and Thunderbolts. And last but certainly not least, we have Harriet Slater from Outlander prequel, Blood of My Blood. Great, welcome ladies.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with an easy one. Who in your life do you consider to be bold and an inspiration to you? Taylour, why don't you start?
I'm gonna say the cheesy thing, which is my husband and my 3-month baby. My baby is obviously quite present and happy and just already has touched so many lives at Comic-Con because he's just smiling at everyone.
Oh.
And my husband has encouraged me to figure out the way that I think so that I can change the way that I think, and I just love the zigzag in his life. When people zag, he zigs. When people zig, he zags. And I just love him so much.
How can I follow that? My husband's in the audience. That's gonna suck if I don't say it.
But the question is he bold? No, this is bold school. Don't feel like you have to say a man.
Okay. No. Look, I will say this. I love you, honey. But as far as boldness goes, I was raised by a very fierce woman who is not only bold, but very funny. And she's completely unafraid of being herself. And that's one of the things that I really love about her. She's got this great big laugh. And she encouraged me, supported me, and allowed me in the most beautiful way to follow my dreams. And that is my mother. And I love her dearly.
My biggest inspiration is also my mom. She's just inspired me in so many different ways, and I remember when I told her that when I first started acting, or when I first wanted to start acting, we originally lived in San Jose, and auditions at the time, yes, let's hear it for Northern California. Auditions at the time were all in LA, like the majority of them. And that is a long drive, if any of you guys know. And sometimes every single time, my mom would literally take me from San Jose to LA and back, all in the same day.
Wow.
And props to her. I don't know how she stuck through and did it, but yeah, seriously. No, she would literally ask me all the time, Maddie, if you want to quit, just please tell me, like seriously. And I clearly never did because I'm here right now, but I wouldn't be here without my mom, so love you, Mom.
For me, of course, my family is super inspiring, especially my sister, Maddie. But I want to say Florence Pugh because I've worked with her twice now in Thunderbolts and Black Widow, which is crazy, and I think she just makes such bold choices. And she's just like such a cool person as well, and I love that she does all her own stunts, and she literally jumped off a building in Thunderbolts, which is a little crazy, but someone super inspiring for me. And I hope to be a lot like her when I grow up.
This is so unoriginal, but I'm also going to say my mum. She massively inspires me. She has always encouraged me from day one. Obviously, I would say my dad too, but we're talking about women, right?
Yeah.
Women only.
Well, I just...
You don't have to. It's fine. No, Taylour, your answer was beautiful.
My mum and my dad both massively inspired me. They've been so supportive since day one. I couldn't ask for more supportive parents. And my mum is a therapist, and she has always encouraged me and all of her clients to, you know, talk openly about mental health, and I think that's so important.
Yeah. Well, looking back on your various work experiences in the industry, what is a time that you felt really empowered and like you were able to own your voice? Cody, you want to start?
I was just thinking about that. Funny enough, I'm in a place now, because we just started this new show, so the new version of this part of the NCIS franchise, Tony and Ziva. And it's really great because as an actor, but also as an executive producer, you're sort of looking at things from behind the scenes, being a part of the casting process, being able to be a woman that has done this now for a while and start right after school, conservatory, you know, and now I get to just hold my girls on set and just be able to give them the guidance. Because I was always surrounded by a lot of men who were very kind to me. But it's very different to get an energy from a woman that gets to go, you look beautiful, you are talented, you are taken care of, you're gonna be okay. If you're happy, I'm happy, and if you're not happy, tell me so we can make you happier. Because it's really like an energetic thing, you know? The more comfortable you are, the better we are. It's an energy thing when you're on set. And so I think that's a great big privilege to be a part of today.
My turn? Okay. I would definitely say getting to be an executive producer, because I recently got to be an executive producer for the first time with my sister on these last 2 movies that we did. And especially us being such young actresses, there are moments when you do feel like people don't take you very seriously and people don't really listen to you very often. So getting to be an executive producer and getting to learn so much more in depth about everyone else's roles on set and getting to make the bigger decisions and help with casting, giving our input on scripts, location scouting. I feel like it gave me the more confidence to speak up and use my voice, and you know, people actually listened, so.
Taylor, Harriet, Violet, you want to add anything?
What was the question again?
What was the time you felt really empowered on the job and able to kind of own your voice as a performer?
I can't remember who it was that said this to me on a job once, but they were like, every department on a set has a head of department, except the cast, and whoever is kind of number one sort of has to take over that role of head of department and speak on behalf of the rest of the cast. And I really took that on board, I think, the first time I took on the role of number one. And so, yeah, I think I learned a lot from that about finding my own voice and speaking up when things maybe weren't great and asking for what we needed. I think I spent a lot of time being timid and sort of people-pleasing. And that really forced me to, you know, own that role and not be afraid to do that.
Great. I think a combination between this film I did called Maureen's Black Bottom with Viola Davis and Chadwick Boseman, and Denzel Washington was the producer, and George C. Wolfe, who's a legend, and Zola. Janixa Bravo is a legend, and just, I don't know if it's appropriate to say, but I did all my own stunts. I actually was on the pole, and that's all me. So I feel very proud of that. But also, I think there was a pivot in 2018 when I shot that. I had come from a little bit of a difficult time in my life, and in this time, I found a lot of agency and autonomy, and also just whenever there's a lot of self-betrayal, and finally deciding, you know what, if it's not actually yes, then it's no, and I don't move until it's yes. Maureen's Black Bottom, just sitting at this table with legends, and what was Chadwick's last movie, just his presence, his consideration for all, knowing he knew he was on his way out of this life, and watching Viola and her kindness, and I just felt seen and held and encouraged, and also like I belong here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. For both Taylour and Harriet, your project's coming up very soon. They're both prequels for major properties with Dairy and Blood of My Blood. Is that intimidating to come into, and how much do you feel you have to look to what's come before versus really getting to make something your own?
Well, I just talked, so maybe.
Yeah, Harriet, you want to start?
Yeah, I mean, definitely like a tiny element of it is slightly daunting because obviously Outlander was so successful and has run for so many years, and the fan base is incredible and love the show so much, and I think we all ever so slightly feel the pressure of, you know, wanting to live up to the expectations of this prequel, and we really hope that fans enjoy it as much as they enjoyed the original. But like overwhelmingly, the support has been incredible, and I think we all feel really lucky to be stepping into something that has such a passionate fan base pre-existing. I think that's so rare, and it's such a privilege. And yeah, thanks for all the love. I really hope you like it.
I have yet to. I mean, it's starting here, but I have yet to experience. I mean, already everyone is stoked. I've never done horror. I don't like horror. I'm scared.
Me too.
But I will say that with all that I do, I have so much to give, and I gave it everything, and that is me acknowledging our fans, the audience, those who have watched all of the It's, and bringing truth to this little family that I'm a part of. Did that answer the question?
Definitely.
The question?
And then for Cody, Madeleine, and Violet, on the flip side of that, you've all been involved with sequels. So do you feel like that gives you more of an opportunity to sink your teeth into a character, really expand their arc in any specific way?
Oof, well, it's actually a really great question because I started playing this character 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So to be able to revisit a woman that obviously has gone through quite a journey and now watch her become a mom and explore, you know, the idea that now she's with the love of her life, even if things keep happening that make things complex between them, they still have to co-parent and they still have to make it work for the sake of this child. That's kind of a thrilling thing. I used to always say, God, I would love to be able to do movies, you know? And then I realized that is an incredible way of exploring a character. And then I realized the great big fortune that actors get when you're sort of working on a character for longer periods of time. You get to sink your teeth into them, and then you really get to kind of show year by year, if you're lucky, how they're shifting and they're changing. And so that's a great big luxury. And so, again, that's I think the greatest thing.
For me, I'm not gonna lie, I actually found it a lot harder to come back and play my character Gwen in Black Phone 2, because even though she's still Gwen, she's grown a lot, and so have I, and we both have experienced a lot, definitely some different things in our lives, but it was really nice to kind of bring in we're both still teenage girls going through, school, going through life. We have our insecurities, things we're self-conscious about. So it was nice to kind of bring a bit more of my older version of myself into Gwen. And even though I was really nervous, I'm so happy with the way everything came together. And I think I really found her again, so.
And Violet, you're in a unique position where you're kind of in both spaces where you're playing the younger version of someone, so it could be prequely, but you're doing it in a sequel.
Yeah, it's crazy. Honestly, I think the way that I expanded Katie is I was 10 years old when I filmed the first Megan, which was a little bit ago, and then I returned to her when I was 13, I think, so a bit of a distance, and I really wanted to show how she's changed, but she's also still Katie. Like, Katie does Aikido now, which is cool. She does soccer, which is awesome, and she's also getting a little bit more into tech, like kind of following in her Aunt Gemma's footsteps, even though she may not like that a lot. But I think we also both got older as well, which was helpful, so I would say yeah.
Okay, let's get into some of the good stuff. Can you share one of your worst auditions and what you learned from the experience?
Okay.
Oh my God.
Madeline, you're laughing. so
I don't
you
know.
go
Well,
first.
I've had a few like kind of yikes auditioning experiences, but some of them for another time. One that I'll talk about now is when I was 6 years old. I don't even remember what the project was for, but I had forgotten all my lines in the auditioning room. Like, seriously, like, just forgot all of them. Couldn't remember a single one. And when it comes to my craft, I'm kind of a perfectionist about all of that. So even at 6, like, I'm beating myself up about it. I'm like, oh, I'm so mad. Like, I'm like pretty sure I started crying. And my mom's like my best friend. Like, truly, we are like this. I go to her for everything. And she's like, she felt so bad for me. She's like, Maddie, no, don't worry about it. Like, seriously, she took me to this restaurant and got me Shirley Temple, because Shirley Temples are like my favorite thing ever. And she was like, Maddie, everyone messes up sometimes. Everyone makes mistakes, but you learn from them, and messing up is okay. Us as adults are always making mistakes and messing up constantly. So it's just important to learn and grow from them. So yeah, great advice from my mom.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember. It was an audition for a musical called Fame.
I've heard of it, I think.
Oh yeah. I was standing right outside and I had all of my, I was like, okay, great. So the song goes like this. Okay, great. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. And I was like, I'm so ready. And I made the stupid rookie mistake of standing right outside the door. Oh my God. And somebody in there just was singing like, I mean, you can't believe the sound of this woman.
They were really bad?
And they were incredible. They were incredible. And I was about to go on and I just went, So I literally stepped on stage and something which does not happen often to me because I love a stage, but I just went, it was like as if you had put a pillow on. Walked out of that like this, like just completely defeated. And I called my very good friend, and I said, Dennis, and he was like, yeah, what's going on? And I said, I need you to pick me up. And he was like, where are you? I said, well, I've detonated. I think there's an arm on 43rd. There's a leg on 47th. I think you could pick up my torso somewhere in my, because I felt like I had, my self-esteem had just gone, and he was like, Cody, it's just an audition. And I was like, you're right. But to this day, I still laugh. Every single time I hear that song, I just go, oh my God! Like, it just brings me back to that moment. Auditions.
Oh gosh, I've had a lot of bad auditions. Gene of the Joneses, I went in and I had eaten these dried strawberries from Trader Joe's, and they were a bad batch.
Oh no.
And I went in and she thought I was hungover, and I was like, no, I'm sick. But I got it, that worked somehow. I mean, like, it worked for the character. You have to lean into what you've got, And another, I got it. Because my character was a bit of a shit show, so it's and another one was for Taylour. He directed The Help, right?
Yes.
So I was so excited. I love that film. This is for something else. And I'm like, let's say the line right here, it says, please be aware. I was like, can I start over? Can I start over? Give me a second. Okay, actually, I'm gonna just go. And he's like, yeah, I think it's just you just go. It was one of those where I just couldn't get it together. I was just too nervous. Whatever, that's the next question. More stories for later.
Harriet?
Can I just say I feel sick hearing that story. That is so traumatic.
It's terrible.
I'm so sorry that happened to you. What a nightmare. I can't think of a specific one, although I'm sure there have been many. I think for me in the beginning, because I came from the stage, my first few jobs were in the theatre, and it took me a while to book a TV or film job. And my response from casting kept being like, she was great in the room, but something just didn't quite translate, or she wasn't quite right, we've gone a different way, or whatever. And after a while, I was like, you know what, maybe I need to get some screen classes. Because a lot of drama school, I went to a drama school, but like 99% of it was stage-based. We didn't really do a lot of screen acting training. So I found a screen acting class in London, and oh my gosh, I realized what I've been doing wrong. Because it's like a completely different thing. It's almost like a different job, stage acting and screen acting. You really have to like bring everything right back into the eyes, because I think I was really underestimating how much the camera picks up on. Because obviously when you're on stage, you have to project to the back of the room, and if you do that on camera, you look insane. So I quickly realized what my mistake was, and sure enough, after that, I started booking screen jobs, which was great.
Yeah, I've got a good one. So, I was pretty young, and I had a callback with my younger brother.
You're like, what, 4?
For sure. We'll say that. And I had a callback for a commercial, and I'm in the room, and I have a lot of lines, and I don't say anything, and I'm just standing there, and I look so stupid. Anyways, me and my brother, we leave the room with my mom. We leave the casting office, and the casting director runs after us and tells my mom, she was like, hey, like, she didn't seem like how she did in her self-tape, like, is she okay? I think she was like bouncing back and forth, so does she have to go to the bathroom? And my mom, before the audition, said, Violet, do you need to use the bathroom? And I said, no, I'm fine. So my mom's like, okay, I'll take her to the bathroom and see. So we go to the bathroom, and my mom's like, so, like, are you, sweetie, like, go to the bathroom? I don't say anything, but tears just start streaming down my face, because I already went to the bathroom in the auditioning room, which was great. And my mom's like, no, it's okay, like, it's okay to make mistakes. And my brother was just being so supportive. He was like, Violet, no, your pants are dark, like, no one's gonna notice this. And so I went back into the room, and I booked it, which was great.
Something about being sick and,
being on yourself, I guess.
I know, it takes you out of your head in a
Yeah,
weird
I
way.
think so.
Yeah. Well, for Violet and Madeleine, I'm curious, like, you're in a really wonderful, unique position where you have your sister in the business with you. Is it empowering in a different way to know that you have that familial support, even if you're not on a project together?
Oh, 1000%. She's like my comfort animal. Aww. And like you guys don't understand. I get so nervous and like stress myself out so easily. But whenever I'm with her, I'm just like instantly calm. And I know that like I'll be okay no matter what, because like she's by my side. And I just think it's so awesome to like be experiencing all of this at the same time, because if one of us is ever struggling with something, we can always just rely on each other and talk to each other about it. So grateful.
It's always great, because I know if I ever have a question about an audition or anything, Maddie will give me an answer, and I'll always have her support, and she always gives me great advice and tips, which is amazing. And I think it's great that we both got to be in this journey together so far, which is amazing, and we'll always have each other, which is great.
Taylour, you started your career as a dancer, and in fact, started dancing very young.
Yes.
And I don't know if people know, but you were a Lenker girl, so go Lakers.
Leave that past behind.
But I'm curious, because dancing is such a different way of expressing yourself, how did growing up in that atmosphere shape you as a performer and actor, particularly because both as actors and dancers, women's bodies are so scrutinized?
Oof, yeah. I want, for full disclaimer, I love dance, I love dancers, but I have a very complicated relationship with dance, just because when you do it young, you do become very self-conscious and a little too perfection-based. I do think it informed my work ethic. I know how to hit a mark, choreography. And I also, when I am working through a character, I start from my feet. So I start with how they walk. I think as a dancer, you become very self-aware of how you use your body, which has been great. But I also think there have been times I've had to kind of reel it back, just because this character, this person, isn't aware of their body. So that's been an interesting kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think being a dancer makes you, I have real grit and strength, and I'm able to endure a lot. And I don't know if that's good all the time, because it creates a bit of a dissonance. Like, I'm really uncomfortable, but I'm fine. But I'm grateful.
Yeah. And Harriet, you're playing the mother of Jamie Fraser, a character so many people love, and he is known for inheriting not only his mother's hair, but her temper and her strength. How do you wrap your head around this woman that you're playing being sort of the source of these traits of this very beloved character? Particularly because it's a male character, and we don't necessarily see that through line from mother to son in storytelling like this.
Yeah, good point. I think a lot of it is there. The writing is so good on our show. Ellen, I just love her to pieces. She's such an amazing character to play. She is so fiery. I think Jamie very much gets his Mackenzie fire from her. And she does have a temper, but the interesting and kind of frustrating thing at times is that she can't display that because she's a woman in the 1700s in Scotland, and she can't say what she wants to say most of the time or do what she wants to do, and she has to control that temper and release it in other ways. She has to use her wits and her cleverness really in order to engineer situations to her advantage and to the advantage of the clan, because sometimes her brothers just aren't up to the job even if they think they are. But yeah, it's such a privilege and a joy to play her. I think she's such an awesome character.
And Cody, when you first left NCIS, you were very honest about the fact that your character arc and some of the script quality wasn't really where you wanted it to be, and that contributed to your exit. So what changed? Why was it time to come back to Ziva in this more full-on way?
First of all, I don't think that was the reason I left.
Oh, okay. There was an interview from 2016. But
No. There are reasons why I left, but those were not the reasons. I'd rather leave it at that.
Yeah. Well, why was it time to come back, though?
Because Michael and I loved playing these characters. We are great friends. We felt that I never planned on leaving. It just happened. And he missed his friend. I missed my friend terribly. And then Michael left a couple of years later, and the characters really never got a resolution, a conclusion. There was never something that happened. And the fans all over the world really kept on asking us things like, what happened to them? Where are they? What happened to Tali? Are they together, you know? So when the time came about, we started really talking about the possibility of bringing these characters back. We have to wait for the right window to sort of open for us to be able to do it. And finally, it happened. And we couldn't be more grateful first to the fans, because it's their manifestation, really, truly. And then Michael and I could not be happier to be working together again and answering a lot of those questions.
Yeah. For each of you growing up, who were movie or TV role models? Like, who did you see yourself in? Maddie, you can start, even though obviously both you and Violet are very much still growing up.
I feel like for me, I'm such a big Marvel fan. Like, I'm a Marvel kind of like nerd, I guess you could say. But I always, my dad, from the moment me and my brothers, and I guess my sister, but she was really so much younger at the time, but the moment we all like came of age where we could watch the Marvel movies, We literally did a Marvel movie marathon and watched all of them. Tried to watch them in order, but I'd say the person who stood out to me the most was easily Scarlett Johansson. Yes, I look up to her in so many ways. She's just so talented and such a badass. I'd say Black Widow is someone that, like, just as a young girl watching her on screen, just truly kick butt was just so inspiring. And I mean, my dream role would be to be an action hero or just an action star in general, because I want to inspire younger girls or just like kids in general to use your voice and speak up and be brave and just continue to fight.
Taylor?
Oof, I loved me some Julie Andrews.
Oh.
I was a Sound of Music
Yes.
kind of gal. Yeah, I just loved her whimsical, fantastical, turning a bad situation into a good one. She was a nun that got excommunicated to go help this family and then falls in love, and that just sounds like something I would do. Well, I was a child, so I guess that's not what I thought
I used to play nun, but it was
Okay.
just about running away and being a bad nun.
Wait. I was like, where's my real family? But no, I just loved, and her twirling in the not in the wilderness, but in the, I guess the Swiss mountains?
Yeah, the Alps.
Wherever they were. It just looked fabulous. And just singing her way through life, I was like, I want to do that. I'm no singer. But the rest, twirling in the Swiss mountains, I see that for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Captain Von Thirst Trap. We all want it.
Right.
Yeah.
And a Little Princess, I had that on repeat. And A Secret Garden. They were kids. Anywhere there were kids, like Homeward Bound, Saving Animals, getting my,
Love it.
yeah.
Cody?
Dame Judi Dench.
That's good.
I love her range. I love the fact that she started out in the theater and then she transitioned and then she did all these things with her husband and then, that she's still working, that she's just, she did Bond. I mean, she's just got this incredible range, and I'd love to be able to just say, like, I did half of what she did, because I think she's one of those people that once she started, she never stopped.
Yeah.
Whether it was the stage, TV, movies, TV series, whatever, she's kind of done it all.
Yeah, she has. Harriet?
I have to say Lindsay Lohan.
Ooh,
Lohan.
that's a good
Never
one.
quite sure, but honestly, I truly think she's like a large part of the reason why I am an actress. I think me and my sister had Mean Girls, The Parent Trap, Freaky Friday on VHS, and we would just watch them on repeat, and all three of them are still in my top 10 movies of all time, because I truly feel like she shaped me in a way. I think I massively looked up to her as an actress because having red hair, often the redheaded character would be like mean, they'd be a bully, or they'd be bullied, or they'd be like nerdy, and I just remember, I think seeing Lindsay Lohan in The Parent Trap was the first time I'd ever seen like a redheaded character be the lead. And I was like, I think I did see myself in her, and I had pictures of her all over my walls. And she's definitely a large part of the reason why I wanted to act. And I'm so here for her comeback.
Yes.
Well, for me, I've always loved Stranger Things, and in season 2, when Sadie Sink joined, and as Max, I just fell in love with her. I wanted all her clothes. She also skateboards in it, and I tried to skateboard as well. It didn't.
The little thing.
It didn't work, but it's okay, and I think it would be so cool to get to work with her one day. She also has worked with Taylor Swift before, so. And I love Taylor Swift, so that would be really fun.
Okay, so what are your industry pet peeves? Harriet, you want to start?
Wow. I'm gonna say not hearing back after you send a tape or have an audition or whatever. That's a real pet peeve of mine. I think people maybe underestimate how much time and effort goes into taping. Because you have to, you get the scenes through and then you have to learn them and do all your prep, whatever your prep is. You have to find someone to tape with, you have to do the tape, then you have to watch them all back, which is the worst part for me. I can't stand that bit. You have to sit there and watch yourself and choose the best one, which is really hard to do when it's yourself. It's really hard to look at it objectively, so I'll often get like a friend to help you with that, and then you have to send it, and then often you just don't hear anything, and that's so hard. So yeah, I think my biggest pet peeve is just not getting just a simple email that's like, thank you, but no thank you.
I honestly, for me, I have like a really big emotional scene where I'm screaming and crying, and maybe we'll have to return to the scene later, or it's finished, but whatever, and they sent me to school, and I have to do math after I was just in a not great place. And it's just, I don't have some time to myself to be alone. No, we're doing school, unfortunately. Or honestly, when people underestimate younger actors, because don't underestimate us, guys.
Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah, I'd say for me, it's definitely the limited time that child actors get on set. Like, I do understand we obviously need our beauty sleep to like come to set the next day and like be prepared and whatnot. But yeah, when it comes to doing such a heavy and emotional scene, like the fact that they expect us to literally just go back and read a book is crazy to me. And I don't know, I'd rather it be my choice if I wanted to finish the scene for like 10 more minutes, because coming back to like such a heavy scene or emotional scene would literally just be like
Awful.
annoying.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
Cody?
I think a noisy set, especially when you're trying to work, which rarely happens because I think there's a lot of respect, but I think noise, especially when you're working on very intimate scenes or emotional scenes, I think that would be one of the big ones. And also a director who's sort of going for like she's not allowing you to find the performance. They kind of want what they want, and that's also hard. Not allowing the actor to sort of go through the journey, that they kind of want what they want.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think, respectfully, just sometimes the narrowness and expectation for actors and artists to have the answers for everything, and also we expect, I'm using the word we, but there's this we, but it doesn't really represent the individual, so sometimes we become the lower denominator of the we, and I think there's so many diverse thoughts and opinions, and it gets weird with politics, and I don't like the presumption that we all are the same or we all agree, and I think when you don't agree, you get ostracized, so then people feel afraid to speak up and to have integrity or even to be wrong. I say this respectfully, but I do think it's a microcosm of the world we live in, where right now it's like, well, if I say this, will they not like me, or I won't get hired, or I think when we feel scared to speak up, that's dangerous. And I don't like the narrowness and the crunching. Like, I could be somewhere and someone could start a conversation and just presume without interest for what I think, that we agree, instead of being curious. I said that I hope that made sense.
No, it makes sense. I mean, even just with the five of you, you're not a monolith. You all have different experiences and perspectives.
Yeah.
What is a woman who you wish people knew more about their work?
Ooh. I'll go.
Okay.
Mary Magdalene.
I love that.
Yeah, I just think imagine a woman loving someone so much and knowing that they're going to spot someone doing the greatest deadlift of all time to save humanity, knowing that the world is going to turn their back and call you a whore, reduce you to one word and you become kind of this myth. But I think the divine feminine is just as important, if not the most important, in balancing the equilibrium of the universe. So she's been narrowed to a mystery or this like kind of taboo thing that can be brought up, and she was important and
I love that. Harriet?
Oh, what? I can't follow that.
I know, seriously, I was like, how can we top that?
I think that's it. that was beautiful. Gosh, I don't know.
I can give you a different question unless somebody else has an answer they really want to share.
I mean, I think that pretty much just was said very beautifully, so.
Oh, well, thanks, guys. I'm happy everyone likes Mary Magdalene. I mean, my girl's getting some
I love
love
it.
at Comic-Con.
Well, so you've all been here all weekends doing the press tour. You get asked so many questions, probably a lot of them the same question over and over. What is something you wish people asked you more, or a question you wish you would get asked? Harriet, I'm gonna call on you again.
Why are you doing this to me? Oh my goodness. I don't know. I'm like, this is the first time I've kind of done press for anything. And sometimes I find it hard to open up about myself. And I kind of close in a little bit because I feel like I'm giving a lot, which is ironic because this is exactly what this panel is. And sometimes I wish that the questions were more about the show because I think I'm like prepped in that way. And I think I'm a perfectionist as well, like Mandy was saying. And I think I like to be in control because that feels safe. But I think through doing all of this, I'm learning to just go with the flow a little bit more and not. It says stop please on the screen. Is that to me?
No, that's different. We've got to wrap up the panel, but I do want to give Doll a chance
in capitals.
to answer.
Like, stop please.
I want to say like one more thing. I have literally learned so much just from sitting here with all these beautiful like women.
Oh, bless
and
you.
I'm so grateful that I got to sit up here with all of you guys. Seriously. It's like
They're a
was amazing.
superstar beauty.
Well, I think that's the perfect note to end on. Well, Taylor, you seem like you really wanted to answer that question. Did you?
Oh, I don't know. I think it was sweet. It was considerate to even ask what we would like to be asked. So I'll leave it there. But the future is in good hands.
Yeah.
Ladies.
Thank
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much for being part of the panel.
Thank you.
Thank you all for
Thank you
coming.
all for coming.
It's just that like they taste like the other ones, and then you get the awkward texture.